So anyway, I'm really happy about the Nintendo Switch Online package, and I hope that it gets better and better, and we get to play online with all these classic retro games that we grew up on. So I'm just over the moon and really happy about it, and looking forward to playing more N64 games, during the Christmas period. What's going on there, guys? It's Mac. Hope you guys are well. Today we're going to be basically doing a run through of the Nintendo Switch emulator. Really excited about this because obviously we've had this released literally yesterday, I believe, and I just want to play it. I'm just dying to play it. So let me quickly just get into it. Obviously I got the family membership pack, so obviously it makes it way more cheaper to get the expansion pack. It becomes like about £8.50 each. So let's just go over here, and as you can see, they've added it in already. You've got Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and over here you got those as well. Where's the actual so I'll show European versions. Where's the Mega Drive? Not here yet. Okay, so expansion pack. So here we have it. This is where we actually have the different variations of the pack. So obviously you've got Nintendo 64, you've got Animal Crossing DLC as well, which is quite interesting. I want to talk about that. And you've got Sega Mega Drive library. So we're going to be going over the Nintendo 64 games today. So let's get those downloaded, and they both should be downloading now. Really excited to test this out. Let's just jump into Nintendo 64 first of all, and let's get that started up. There's just a few things I want to check out. I want to see how the retro bit N64 Controller works with it, but also I just want to check out the games because this is pretty awesome, man. Been waiting for something like this for ages. Just playing. So you got settings, North American version, both North American and EU versions. Let's do that. One player. So here it is. We got all the games up here. We've got 2 Yoshi stories. Okay, so it's showing the box art for the American one and then the European one. So as you can see, the box art's a bit different. I'm used to the PAL version with the borders. Recognize that. Let's see Mario Kart. So you can press triangle, and you can see additional information about each game. Press X, and let's see. So North American versions, playable titles. Okay. Interesting, because obviously we can play in 60 Hertz, which is brilliant, but it's a shame we can't get show controls and games and rumble. Okay, so it just increases the amount because we have so you got Star Fox 64, correct name, and we got Lilac. Okay, we got Lilac Wars 64. We got Lilac Wars, which is obviously because of the naming part of the European. For some reason they couldn't use Star Fox the name, so that you call it Lilac Wars, which is a bit crap. So I'm glad that they fixed that, and we can see that here. Zelda Ocarina of Time. So you got the American one, the Gold Edition, then you got the PAL version. So I think the PAL version one will run in 50 Hertz, and then it's for the languages. And then obviously the American one will run in 60 Hertz. So you still need to play the American version. So we need the American cover as well. What else we've got here? Operation Winback. So I think that one is the. So you got the PAL version there. Box art's a bit different for the American version. Sin and Punishment, really awesome game. They made a part 2 to that on the Nintendo Wii, but we never got it. We never got the N64 version, which was the very first version of the series, which came out only in Japan. So I'm glad that that's there. Why is the Yoshi story so huge? There's no need for that. Absolutely no need for that. Anyway, so Yoshi story, PAL version, N64 version. Sorry, PAL version and the American version. no need for us to have them both, but let's just see what it does. So this is the PAL version.
It's me, Mario.
Start button, okay.
Hello.
So just say start. So you should see over here, you got options and you got different languages. Which I don't think you're gonna have on the American version. That's the difference.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so that's the 50 Hz version. Okay, there's the user guide. So you go into suspend menu, press the minus button, and then you could use the user guide, which is press X, and then you can see the controls here. So as you can see, they've mapped A and B to the A and B on the Pro Controller, left C and up, is that left C and down C, which is the other two buttons. And then all your C buttons are your right stick, ZR, and then the C buttons. So let's see what that does. Okay, so the buttons, the face buttons actually work independently as A and B, and then you've got Y being that C button, which was left C, and the top button, which is X, being down C. Yeah, so if you press that, down C. So right stick, and those two buttons. Okay, fine. But if you hold on R2, which is ZR, you could then use all the C buttons as the face buttons. So A, B, X, Y becomes the actual C buttons. And your right joystick is still the C buttons. So let's go back to game selection, and then let's launch the American version, which should be 60 Hz, and let's see the difference.
It's me, Mario.
I don't know what it is, but I did feel it. It's not, maybe because I know. So this one says press start, whereas the other one just says start. So already a different change there already, I can tell. And if you go over here, there's no language options, just sound, which is, we had sound and languages. So you can see it's an American version,
Okie dokie.
or North American region. And I can actually tell that the sound is playing a bit faster, which is like the correct speed. Didn't realize that we actually played in such a, obviously we played in 50 Hz, so it meant that the entire game was slowed down, and it does actually make a difference. You can actually hear it now. When we were kids, we didn't realize, like, obviously we were playing it as it was and it felt normal. But it's a bit of a bummer that we had to play it in 50 Hz back in the day. But I'm just so glad that Nintendo Switch Online managed to do the fix that, so we don't have to play in 50 Hz for European region. Oh wow, definitely it feels way more faster. Let's create suspend point. So as you can see, the previous suspend point that I created in the PAL version is not here. So it means that you can't use different save points from two different games. They are literally two individual games completely. So at least we can see that. So let's create a save data for that. And that should be there. Suspend point. Start button, menu, guide, okay. So you got the C buttons if you hold on ZR. Otherwise the right stick is your C buttons. Okay, cool. So minus, go to game selection. So I'm gonna actually, so if you go into here, instantly you can see I've got a PAL version. Wow, so much slower, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just, even the way it says, I can't even say that fast. That's the fastest it's gonna do. Let's go to the 60 Hz version and then load. And then so much nippier. Wow, and then let's do the punch test. Alright, so you can definitely see the difference. 50 Hz, 60 Hz. Okay, next test. Let's go to game selection. So let's just change that setting and just leave it as North American version, because I just do not ever want to play those games in the PAL version. It's just way too slow. And let's try out my favorite game ever, Mario 64. Now, what's also really awesome is that, you know, they increased the prices, but if you get the family package, which is obviously what they want everybody in their family household to obviously have a game each. So you know they're meant to basically have multiple systems per household. You know, like, you know, the mom, the dad, the kids. You know, so if you have it like in that setup, you're basically looking to actually have multiple switches, which means that you're gonna need to have multiple switch accounts. Can you imagine if it was 50 quid per individual per household? That would be ridiculous. So it's still cheaper than obviously having Switch Online. Alright, let's do that. Just a C-stick. So it's still obviously way better than having, you know, like Nintendo Switch for the Nintendo Xbox Live, as well as, you know, PSN. It's still a bit more expensive compared to individual membership for Switch, but if you go for the family package, it beats all of them. Literally beats them all. I'm just trying to work at the buttons. It's a bit different. Let's slow it down. Usually we put the camera forward so that it runs faster, it looks faster. This feels way more faster, but obviously I'm not used to it because just realised that we've been playing in 50 Hz all this time, and 60 Hz it's phenomenal. It's like, it is a lot more faster. So I actually heard about this where the music cuts out for some reason, part of the emulation, which is not the best. But yeah, we got music now. Actually wait, we got music, so let me see, I may have turned it off or something. Yeah, sorry, my bad, I forgot L1. So L turns the music off. I remember, so you got 3 levels. You got normal mode, quiet mode, and then completely off. So let's turn it back on. So ZL is your boosters. So that's basically, if I hold on ZR, I can use the face buttons as the C button. So C button, up C was that, left C was nothing, right C was that, down C was nothing. So if I take off ZR, then I should be able to do that with the right stick. Yeah, that's correct. Now I've seen a lot of people do videos on basically the Nintendo 64 controllers that are out there at the moment that are brilliant. This one is really awesome. This is called the Retrobit Wireless. It's got built-in rumble, which is really awesome, and it actually comes with 2 dongles. One for the original console, which is over here, then you've got the USB one. This one is for the PC and Nintendo Switch. Got a little sync button. It's a 2.4 gigahertz dongle, so they connect automatically. Over here, you just remove that bit here, and you've got a slot for the memory card. You can change it from here, where it says M and R, so you can change it over. You've got a little button, I think it's a reset button, little light indicator, and a micro USB port over here, which I don't think is I don't think it's used. Anyway, so you've got the USB here, which is for the Switch, and also what I like is that they got macros at the back, which it tells you, like, hold on start and left for the legacy mode, which is how the Switch, how this controller pretty much works. You've got hold on start and up for the default mode, and you got the Switch mode, which is start and B, and then you've also got the all star mode, which is designed for basically the Mario 64 compilation, Mario All Stars. So what I want to test out is how this controller actually works with this Switch, Nintendo Switch app. It's going to be quite interesting to see how that works. So let's first of all just pop it in. It's just literally the USB dongle. So macros modes that you can do. I'll put that up onto the screen, but you can pretty much read all the macros that they have, the options and how to set it. Really cool system, multiple options for you to play in. So let's just pop this in. I've seen a lot of people do different controllers for the N64, but no one's actually showed the Tribute 64 2.4 gigahertz wireless controller by Retrobit, because I do believe that this is only one, compared to the wired versions, this is only one that actually has the two options at the bottoms, at the top as well. So you got the start button, you got the minus button, and you got the home button. So the start is the start button, and then the home button is the right button, the left button is the minus button, and you've got two triggers on either side. All you're missing is the right analog stick, but again, the all-star mode allows you to use the C buttons as the C buttons for the right joystick. So it'll be interesting to see how we can navigate this controller on the N64 app. So let's just show you the controller options. So LR, left stick, right stick, click. So obviously the top C and the right C is left stick and right stick click. You've got this button here on the left is your minus, your start is your plus, and the other button over here, the macros button, which only these two buttons only work on the Switch on the PC mode, but obviously when you use the original dongle for the N64, they don't work at all. It's just a start button. Oh, so by the way, you got the Type-C charger at the bottom, but it's a really cool controller, comfortable to hold. The analog stick is brilliant, it ain't gonna break. It's more like inspired by the GameCube style controller, but it's also got the cutout of the octagonal rather than it being a circle, so you got the individual clicks, which is really cool. D-pad is all very sharp. I quite like the D-pad. It's clicky, it's comfortable, not painful as the Pro one, which can be a bit painful. Actually, it's really nice, this D-pad, better than the original N64. Just all in all, just a better controller, as you can see by just the grip. It's a modern style take on it. Also, I like that the fact that the built-in rumble is not on the sides. They actually managed to do it in the middle to sort of show where the rumble motor would have gone in. Where the rumble pack goes in, they put it in the middle. So they actually matched that and put the rumble motor in the middle rather than on the sides, which is very interesting. And it feels like the original, and the fact that they got the rumble built in wirelessly means that we don't have that additional thing at the back, which really was uncomfortable to hold as a result. So I'm glad that we don't have that, because the Brawler 64 controller has that, and it's really uncomfortable to hold unless you get the wireless version. So the D-pad is D-pad. So you got down C as A as B, B as Y, and left C as X. So it's following the 4-button layout over here, and these two being the left stick and right stick. And if you go into so that's I think that's the default mode, and then the start and left, which is the legacy mode. that. So you're gonna hold it for like start and left for like 5 seconds, and then it changes. And then what that does is that it basically, legacy being, it follows the controller layout of the N64. So A and B is now A and B, as you can see. Left C is Y and down C is X. So they rotate the two buttons across. It reminds me a bit of the GameCube style controller, where the Y and the X sort of rotate around the A button. Yeah, it's pretty much that basically. So that's what they're following. Up C and right C is left click and right click, left stick and right stick click-ins. Everything else is pretty much the same. And then we got All Star, which is start and right. So with the All Star mode, A is now A, B is now X, so A and X, so A and B. So, and you also do have the option to rotate the A's and B's around as well, which is really cool. So it shows here, swap AB and XY. You can swap L and ZL as well, and swap R and ZR around. So let's see, swap ABXY, you're going to hold on start and down for 5 seconds, switches the A and B buttons with the X and Y buttons, repeat input to reverse. So there should be a way to actually play Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64 expansion pack with the correct setup, but at the moment the left C, up C, right C, down C, they're not doing anything because they are essentially trying to just be the normal right stick at the moment. So All Star mode makes the A button, and the B button, the X button. Okay, with All Star mode, I can't get the B button to be the B button, unfortunately, because it is not picking up the B button. A is A, but the B on the All Star mode is actually X, which is actually the weapon button. Not being able to break is not good. Okay, that actually means that the L button is no longer... Okay, now L2 is still using the weapon. All-Star mode was very close. It was the closest you can get. You could pretty much have the right, all the C buttons as the C, the right joystick, pretty much like this, as you can see, becomes all the C buttons, which is the closest you can get. And the A and B was almost there. The A was the A, but the B was actually the X button, unfortunately, which meant it being the X button, it was actually being down C button, which I forgot was actually the weapon button in Mario Kart 64. And ZL obviously still being the shoot button as well, which is the Z. So ZL is your Z button, which is your trigger. So L is your music. If you hold on ZR, you can adjust it. Hold on ZR and do the C buttons like that. But yeah, there is no... Very close, but it's just not there. Anyway, so that's one thing I'm going to check, that it does keep rumbling. So I'm going to check it with the other one that I have. I have the Atomic Purple as well. I'll check them both and I'll see if it does keep on rumbling non-stop. If it does, hopefully a firmware update will fix it, or it could be just that my console needs a restart and it'll be fine. So I'll check that and I'll put that into the screen over here, so you guys know if it's if there was an issue with that. I don't think it should be, hopefully, but yeah, closest controller to the full Switch experience, or the full N64 experience. Let's check out Zelda. back to my childhood, man. This is so epic. I mean, just to have N64 games like this running on your Switch is phenomenal. And like I was saying, like the price, you know, it does compensate for a lot. You know, yeah, you got the DLC package in there, you've got Animal Crossing DLC in there, but if you exclude, if the fact that they got it in there means that they're going to add more DLC hopefully in the future. You got more Mega Drive games, you got more N64 games coming as well, and you might also get an additional system as well, which might be the Game Boy most likely. So that, all of that, including the NES and the SNES, you pretty much got like a Netflix of gaming for the Switch in their own subscription service. It's a bit expensive, you know, it's nowhere near like, you know, like Game Pass has a lot of games, but this is like all of the Nintendo stuff that you actually wanted for a long time, and there's not been a new way of actually playing them on the, especially online. That's the main thing, to play them online, like your Mario Karts and you know your Star Fox, and eventually I hope they're gonna bring in Super Smash Bros. 64. This was the where it started basically. But to play them on all the multiplayer games online is what you really wanted to do for a long time, and obviously that is not something that they can just chuck out there. And Emily has been doing it for a long time. I'm pretty sure they have. But to actually have them, in the game on the console, which means that again, it must mean that they have to obviously keep them servers up to date. They need to obviously make sure that they are running. You know, like, you know, for Mario Kart Online, you've actually got the actual a lobby where you can create and you can play with your friends. So all of that is a new feature, and it's obviously online, which means that you do need a service for that. Without the service being online, you would actually not be able to play that online. So you can say that having online, Nintendo Switch Online, means you should be able to play online games, and you know what I mean. Like basically having Nintendo Switch Online and being able to play a game from the classic era online is I think sort of works part and parcel together. Otherwise you'd be in a situation where you'd have to play online, play a separate fee like Xbox Gold, and then you also have to pay for the game separately, which is what you could have had as well here. But it's hard to sort of talk about the two different, because they're also different now. PlayStation Plus have their own thing going. They got their own online service for the games, which you could download and play. But also you've got their normal PSN, where you get free games. You got Xbox with their Game Pass, and then you've also got Xbox with the Xbox Gold, which is their online gaming subscription. So then you've got Nintendo Switch Online, which is their subscription, which is also mixed in with online play. So they've combined them, and then on top of that you get games, and it seems like DLC. So what does that mean? You know, this is still phenomenal, because I've been like wanting to play this for ages, and man, I've not still completed it since when I completed it in my childhood with my brothers. So I really do want to complete this game again, and I've been waiting for a way to play it, the best way to play it, and definitely I think it's going to be on the Switch this time round. So hopefully the button layout works out alright. Obviously the speed of the text, my god, that is so slow. There's no skippable text. I remember that's something that they fixed on like on the 3DS ports of it, I believe. My god, it's very annoying. So the buttons are the same everywhere, as you can see. They don't change. Alright, so I'm going to come back to this game when I go a bit more further. Let's check out Sega Mega Drive. Completely forgot to check out this one, and it's been a while, so let's go into that one. Sega! You know that sounds sick. Alright, so let's see. Settings, you got 4x3, pixel perfect, CRT, show controls, so 4x3 as well. One player. So they just straight up go for the Genesis box art. As you can see, Sega Genesis everywhere. Which is a bit weird for us because obviously we're in PAL, we're used to it saying Sega Mega Drive, but we got the American box art. But I know why. It's because obviously we are playing the American version of the game, which is in 60 Hz, not the PAL version. Swiss Rage. So D-pad works, joystick works. It's just special. Y should be your A, your B should be your B, and your C should be your A button. So it goes like A, B, C. Which is fine. Don't really use the other buttons anyway. So let's see how you rewind. So you go rewind, you lost your spot. But that's how you can survive, which is a cool feature. I really do like that. N64 one doesn't have that, but you do have that rewind feature on the SNES and maybe on the NES one. Actually, I don't think you have it on the NES one. I think you do have it on the SNES. It's a feature they're brought in for the SNES emulator. And the Mega Drive has it as well. This is cool as well. It means that you can play this online as well, which is pretty awesome. I've got the Mega Drive collection, but the thing is, not everyone in my friends and family actually have the Mega Drive collection. But this way, I do know that they have Switch Online, so they now don't have an excuse, as in like trying to get them to buy the entire game for like one game that you want to play online every now and again. Might be a bit of a hard sell for them, for casual players. For me, it's fine to buy that game, but yeah, to get certain people that are more casuals in my family and friends, it would be a bit more of a harder sell. But now with this online system, to have Mega Drive, like they definitely put that in there just to sort of bump up the price a bit, just to show that yeah, look, we got a few more bits and pieces. But I'm pretty sure you got the Mega Drive for cheap, because it can't have been that expensive. Because Sega, we know that their Mega Drive games, they put the completions out everywhere. They've already got it on the Switch as well with the new collection. You know, so this is literally just like 2 extra games, I believe, that are different compared to that collection. So it's pretty much the same collection, so it's not going to cost them that much more, trust me, to put this on. But they put it on there so that, because they knew there's going to be a bit of a backlash from customers thinking that it's overpriced and stuff like that, which, you know, you're right to have that opinion as well, but in my opinion, I personally don't think it's crazy overpriced, because you are getting in N64 games that are bundled in with also Ocarina of Time, and you've got Majora's Mask coming in the future. You've got other games like that. You've got all your staples from the N64 library that are sort of just jumping in one go, and you're going to have online features as well, which means you get to play them online, you know. And the fact that you can actually play these games online, like I was saying earlier, that Mega Drive games, now you have them all there to play. You can literally jump on and play your friends and family, and they have no reason to be like, oh, I don't have that game yet or something like that, because they can just jump on online and they can have a few games of this, you know, a side-scrolling beat 'em up online. So it's really cool that you can still play these games again online. Again, with the Mega Drive, they've had these games online for a while now, because obviously the cartridge has the option, you know, the release of the Sega Mega Drive collection actually have online feature. But to have N64 online as well with this online feature is really cool. You know, you can argue that, you know, it'd be nice if they sold it separately so you can actually buy it, because you don't know what they're going to do in the future. But what I'm hoping is that now that you've got it online, they've made a stamp every new iteration of the Switch. I'm hoping they're going to go on to Switch 2 and Switch 3 and do it like that. They'll just keep on improving on it and improving the online, as well as increasing the library and just constantly growing that library. And you know, if they're going to charge you for it, fair enough, because you're adding so many quality titles and they're just not deleting them, are they? They just keep on adding more and more. So you got to think of it that way. So if they keep on adding more titles, it's going to become way more worthwhile. But at the moment, with the classic games that they've gone, you know, just the 2 Zeldas, or the second Zelda's going to come in later by Zelda Ocarina of Time. You got Mario 64, you got Mario Tennis. You know, these are games that I really want to play online, and I can't wait to play them online with my friends and family. So to me, it's value right there. And then obviously, I've wanted N64 on the HD system for a long time, because obviously, as you know, the PAL version of the N64 is just really bad graphics on a HD TV. It just doesn't come out well at all. So finally, like, the console that had the most craziest controls and the most craziest video output, like the very poorest video output, is now getting its games hopefully on the HD system. And everyone always says that N64 doesn't have all the greatest games, like it doesn't have the greatest games, right? So there's no reason for why you should think that they can't get a good library of games on this online system, because they're not known for having multiple crazy really good titles on this before, but the few titles that they do have are so amazing that you do need them on here. I'm glad that they released, you know, Mario trilogy, you know, the Mario All Stars 3D collection separately, and you got the N64 version there with the new controls and stuff, and you got the, you know, the other two Mario games. It's just like an additional bonus for them to have this on here, just so that people that missed out on it can still play it. But I know ideally you'd want to play the N64 version. You'd want to play the compilation version. It's just better controls overall, and I believe the graphics does look slightly better, washes up better from what I've seen of other YouTubers playing it. As you can see, $17.99 for 12 months it used to be, and then it became $34.99, which is a lot. It's a big increase. Individually 1 month, you know, and 3 months individual membership, you can see the difference in price there. But with the family membership up to 8 accounts, you got £31.49 for 12 months, which was for 8 people, but now it's up to £59.99. So they've actually increased that as well, but then you gotta divide that to £60 divided by 8 people, and then you just calculate that, and that's what you have. It's going to be like under £10 each, so a good deal there. Individually, yeah, it's a big step up. But obviously, what you do get is, you know, N64, Animal Crossing DLC, and Mega Drive as the expansion pack. But again, you don't need to go onto that tier if you wish to. If you think that it's not enough value, or you want to jump onto it later when there will be hopefully more games and probably more DLC. Then you can obviously just go for the normal Switch Online and play the games online still. And also, what I realize is that them adding in DLC is a way of actually adding in the DLC content, which people don't usually want to buy. You know, it has a bit of a bit of a money grabbing kind of a how do they say it? That, you know, obviously everyone thinks DLC is not the best because usually additional money after you bought a full price game. But Nintendo do really good DLC content, and they've just sort of jumped onto that recently, and they don't want to give away full games. Obviously the Switch games are obviously first party games, and they don't want to give it away in the same way that Xbox and PlayStation do give away games on their online packages, as well as obviously their first party games. But obviously Nintendo want to keep their value higher, but this is a way of them actually not having to give away free full title games, because once they start that, they're going to have a lot of games to keep on chucking out there, and they're going to be giving it for free. But the DLC is something that not everyone wants to buy, but wouldn't mind having it, and also it gives them a chance to actually play the full campaign or the full story if you weren't willing to pay the DLC. So I'm hoping that things like first party titles like, you know, Zelda Breath of the Wild 1 and 2, the Hyrule Warriors game, stuff like that, the DLC that comes with that, if they're adding that onto here, so you're going to get the customer to buy the game in full price, and then on top of that they're going to feel that they're getting a bit more value because the Switch Online allows them to then get the DLC for free. So basically Nintendo hasn't offered a free game and lost out on that money, but they've managed to also give the customer value for their content by obviously being able to play the DLC for free. So that's something that they can definitely do, and it's sort of like a win-win, because they don't have to give away a game for free. It means that you getting the DLC for free means that you're still a subscriber, so Nintendo's still getting money from the customer. But at the same time, the customer feels like their Switch Online gives them online membership, so they can play online, and they get these additional, expansion packs and additional games, like the N64 and the Mega Drive and the SNES and the SNES and the SNES and the NES games. But you're also getting like DLC that's worth £25 here and there. So one DLC package, which I believe the Animal Crossing is £25, that's half of the 12-month membership in some cases, so it's like you can add a few of those up on the newer game that you get, and then it's like actually you're not actually paying that much for online membership. Again, this is based on individual membership, but if you then go for the family account, I'm then paying like £8.50 for like the online membership, and I'm getting the entire N64 collection for free basically, with that membership, and I'm getting DLC packages for free, which if I minus that off the £10, if I minus off the DLC, now say I was playing Animal Crossing, which I don't, but if I was and I wanted to buy that Animal Crossing DLC, which was £25 individually, right, that game sold a phenomenal amount, millions, right? So for them to have that install base, it means that they're actually giving a large chunk of the install base an option to get DLC for free, which they're basically getting £25 discount on the online membership. So now I'm looking out for DLC that's relevant to the games that I play, and then that would mean that you minus 25, say you minus £25 off your online membership, which I'm paying like £8.50 with the family membership. So you divide that up individually, so it's less than £10, and then you take off the £25. All you do is give each other's email address, I believe, and then that's all they actually have, and then you control your own account. Everyone has individuality, they don't share any details, and you get to actually play online with that account on your system, any system, whichever you sign into, you take your online membership with you. So it's really cool, and any of your digital games obviously goes with your account that you've bought separately. So there is no personal information being shared. So I would say obviously do it with your family and do it with your friends, but if you want to create a group amongst other people, like-minded people, obviously get a few people together and you can get yourself a really good discount. It shouldn't be too difficult to do. A lot of people have Discord friends, so you could do that. Obviously the N64 controller, I want to talk about that briefly. That's a wireless controller, but the C-stick and the actual joystick is still the same design, where it sort of chisels away, and then the plastic breaks away, and then it becomes powder and it wears away, and it's going to become a limp stick. So I wouldn't pay that money. Like I said, you've got the Tribute 64 controllers, Retro Bit, and Brawler 64. I would say use those options over this, and you'd be better off. Otherwise, just use your Pro controller. And also, I'm not a fan of the N64 Star controller. I'm really happy with the new modern solutions that they've come out with, like the Brawler 64 and Tribute 64, making it more of a modern style and the stronger joystick. So definitely, I'm really happy with what they've done. They've copied the color aesthetics, the different designs of the N64 classic controllers, but they made it into a format which works. It looks more like a modern Star controller, which is something that I'm really happy about. So I definitely do not want to pick up something like this, because I'm glad that they moved away from that and then give us modern solutions for it. But again, people that want to get for nostalgia reasons can pick that up if they can get hold of it. But the Mega Drive controller that Nintendo are doing for the Switch Online, that again is really expensive, and that absolutely has no reason for you to buy that, because you've got so many different options from Retrobit have made officially licensed Mega Drive controllers, 6-button controllers, Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz, so many different options. There's absolutely no need for you to go and buy that. You can buy a number of those once and you'll be fine. So anyway, I'm really happy about the Nintendo Switch Online package, and I hope that it gets better and better, and we get to play online with all these classic retro games that we grew up on. So I'm just over the moon and really happy about it, and looking forward to playing more N64 games, you know, during the Christmas period. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Ask me any questions in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer every single one. And yeah, until next time, let me know if you guys have got the expansion pack and what your thoughts are and what games you guys are looking forward to playing on that actual expansion pack on the N64 games list. So that's me. I'm out. And until next time, take care, guys. This is Mac. Peace out.